Alright, we're going to try to make this video as quick as possible. I'm about to take a long trip out of town, and you guys asked for this. This hurts me to do this at the same time. With as many filters as I've ripped open so far, and people have touted about how they're just so much different than everybody else and this and that, and then cutting them open and realizing there's actually almost nothing different between most of these. Even the ones that people talk bad about seem to be of pretty good quality overall, as long as they're not the lowest grade filter that you can possibly buy. But even at that, people use them for the wrong application. This thing says 10,000 mile protection, but some of them, you know, depending on what filter and what application, you may get a lower grade looking filter. Some of them look completely different. You may have an orange one in this type, and it'd be a metal top and a metal bottom, but then other brands, you may get a cardboard paper type top and bottom. So it just all depends on the application. And these fall apart because people overuse them. Is it a 10,000 mile rated filter? No, it's probably not. It shouldn't be a 10,000 mile rated filter. It should be maximum 5,000 mile rated filter. But looking at these when they came in, the Purolator Boss is a super heavy filter, and it looks like it's of super great quality. This thing is heavy just sitting here in my hand. So if I take, it's got a fancy box too. It almost makes you feel like this is the one you need to grab. We look at another high grade filter. This is the Fram Racing filter. The bypass valve in this one looks like it's twice, if not 3 times bigger than most bypass valves. The bypass valve on the bottom of this thing is just massive. It's made for flow, you know, it's made for maximum protection. You know, if you're out on the track racing or something like that, and it's even heavier. This thing feels even heavier than the Purolator Boss. Standard Bosch filter. I showed you guys what a Distance Plus Bosch looks like and how heavy it was. That's in the previous video, so if you haven't seen that, you probably should go check it out if you're curious. If you look inside this filter, it actually looks just like all of the other ones. It looks just like this one. There's almost no difference to the look. Anyhow, this is a lighter filter. You can tell it's not made with as probably heavy duty as an end. The media inside isn't probably as good. If you look at this one actually does have a little bit different design, and the bypass valve in the bottom of it is much larger, it looks like, from here. That's a super light filter. This one has more weight to it than the Fram does, and these are standard style filters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these over in the same category because they're super heavy. It's supposed to be really good filtering filters. And these two would be in the same category. Let's cut them open. This is going to be cringe-worthy content because I mean, this is expensive. Let's start with our standard stuff first. We'll do the Fram PH2. Okay. Excuse me, apologize. There's the diaphragm. Looks like they have a cardboard end, like everybody says, right? That is the easiest filter I've had to tear apart so far, by far. You know, I know why people talk trash about them, but I think their mileage is rated too high. It's not a 10,000 mile filter. This is a 3,000 to 5,000 mile filter at max. Is it a bad filter? No, I think it's a sufficient filter. It's a very, very cheap filter. But when people have things happen and they're like, oh, it's the filter, it's the filter. Well, I have to question some of your integrity behind actually caring for your vehicle. Why would you buy a $2 filter and put it on a vehicle that costs $30,000? I would buy a $2 filter and put it on a vehicle that costs $5,000 that I know I'm going to be servicing often. I would do that. The center core looks like it's a little bit cheaper quality. It's got the standard leaf spring with the bypass valve that a lot of them have. No difference there. Let's go with our Bosch now. So I'm not gonna beat the Fram dead horse, but what I am saying is people got to take responsibility as well. That orange can Fram filter is not a high quality filter. We all know that. Service your stuff. Quit trying to go 10,000 miles on your oil changes, which is ridiculous anyway. Okay, it's got a decent heavy-duty end on it. It's really nice. Not bad. Not a lot of thread material to grab, but not bad. At least the Fram has a lot more, looks like deeper thread material. It's got more of a lip to it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. It just doesn't look as deep. Looks like it's more shallow. Well, maybe I'm wrong. That's fine. It's got a standard anti-flowback valve. It's got a standard metal cap top and bottom with standard spring in the bottom. So it's just a standard filter, nothing special about it. That's it. Standard leaf spring. Same media as all the other ones, nothing special. Let's open up the Fram Racing filter. The can is thick. Come on. You know what? This Fram's got this extra wide groove that keeps making it want to ride up. We'll just start a new line. This can is thick. Wow. The top on this thing is massive. It is absolutely massive. The gasket is huge, and it's got such a slick type finish. I noticed these higher end filters, these racing filters, they really put a big thick gasket on there, and it's got this really nice sheen like finish to it. You're paying for more. The diaphragm is really nice. It looks like it's got more of a shiny, slicker finish, like it's a better quality rubber than that dry, cheaper stuff. And it fits really nice. Fits really nice over that. It's got a ton of pleats in this thing. The holes inside are really wide. It's got a second gasket, bypass valve, and a filter if it does have to bypass. It's got a secondary bypass filter on it. So that so far is impressive. I have not yet seen that bypass with a... Now that leaf spring assembly is pretty impressive. We've yet to see that in a filter so far. That is nice. And I like the amount of media they have in here. It's a lot of media, a lot of filtration going on inside this filter. regular O-ring, kind of small actually. Nice quality though, really nice quality. It's extra shiny. Now that was something we've yet to experience. We haven't cut one open yet where it went boom and popped open like that. So there's something different about this filter, this Purolator Boss. It's got a standard anti-feedback diaphragm. It's got a really thick heavy-duty top. It's also got like the inlet style the Ford Motorcraft filters have. The really big wide mouth ones. Wow. It's got a standard leaf spring in the bottom of it. Now this material is nice. It's like a hybrid of the nanotechnology and the synthetic material. It's super strong. Holy crap. It's got the Ford Racing media, or the resin in the bottom of it, that white resin. Remember the filter that we strung out and it had media all the way down the table? That's that white resin that they use in the Ford Racing filters. The stuff that's super strong and it's hard to get past. Like you can pry and yank on this stuff and it almost doesn't even want to come out of there. Ah. I don't know that we've seen a filter this strong so far. It's got your standard style bypass in the bottom. Let me try to. I'm gonna try to use my leg right here. I'm gonna try to knock the end off of this thing. Yeah, that ain't coming off of there that easy. Oh my God. Now that has a ton of pleats in it. And that is super, super, super strong. I'm gonna keep trying to. This is set up just like the Ford Racing filter, except better pleats in it. My God. I mean, the Ford Racing filter has the better bypass valve. Golly. This stuff doesn't even want to come off of there. My God. Ah. Holy moly. You talking about glued and not coming apart? My God. All right. Strongest filter that I've taken apart so far, and the best filter that I've taken apart so far, is the Purolator Boss. I don't even have to continue. This huge heavy-duty end, the big inlet holes, it's the best filter that I've actually taken apart so far. I don't like the location of the bypass valve, but you know what? Look at that. Look at the fiberglass webbing inside this thing.
Oh, I'm thinking you're doing a video.
I am.
Sorry.
You're good. Look at this.
I thought you said that. I thought you said
Purolator makes Ford's filters, and we have the best bypass valve location out of any filter I've seen so far. Our bypass valve doesn't sit in the bottom like this Fram Racing one does.
Mhm.
Our bypass valve sits up here. So say the oil comes in the top of the filter, and it goes through the side, and it goes through the media, and back up through the center into the motor. Say this filter was to ever get so plugged up, there could be no oil flow going through here. It has to be able to bypass somehow.
Right.
So Ford puts theirs up here, and their whole mindset is, if I bypass the top of this, it's not going to wash all the junk and stuff from this area up inside
Back
the
in.
motor. So if I put it up here, it's going to leave most of the contaminants down here, and at least I'll be able to get somebody operating in an emergency situation without putting contaminants back in the motor. Now, what Fram Racing has come up with is if they're going to bypass from the bottom, at least they've given you a secondary filter screen.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's done this so far. Everybody talks so much trash about Fram because Fram's technology of their orange can filter is cardboard. It's cheap. It's not a 10,000 mile rated filter like it says on the box. This filter should be used for between 3,000 to 5,000 miles, 3,000 probably being more max than anything. It's a cardboard ended filter. Now, if you look at this filter here, the racing version of the Fram filter, it's 10 times better.
Oh yeah.
It's not a Fram garbage filter anymore. It's got a huge heavy duty case that's really hard to make flex. It's very heavy. It's got a heavy end to it. That's super light. It's completely different. So this technology here, I actually like better than any filter I've taken apart so far. This is actually very, 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 very smart on Fram's part for doing this. It's something I haven't seen in any other filter. But what I like about the Purolator Boss is Purolator makes Ford's filters. What they do to protect their filters is unreal. They put this fiberglass mesh media inside. It's like a nanotechnology filter that's not that paper filter stuff in there. So it filters 10 times better probably. The robustness of the case, how strong this case is. It's not a Ford Racing quality case, or it's not a Fram Racing quality case. These are a lot stronger for burst. They're trying to protect against bursting. But how heavy duty the end is, it's got the same Ford style flow through mounts, and it uses the Ford Racing type resin to hold. So by far, the best filter that I put my hands on so far is the Purolator Boss.
Where did that one rank at? The German one?
The Heinz or whatever it's called. I haven't opened the Heinz up yet, but it looks like any other just basic middle grade
Be
filter.
interesting to see how they,
Yeah.
because it's so highly rated. You were saying.
Yeah, I mean it's a highly rated filter overseas, but at the same time it uses a standard style bypass valve. It uses a standard style media. Like, you see the media here.
Oh yeah, that's like literally that's like pink. And it's so far spread apart too.
The Fram Racing one. And this is the standard Fram. Now this is some kind of different cellulose fiber type technology or whatever that they use. It filters very well, and there's twice the amount, if not 3 times the amount of pleats packed into there as just the standard. So I can see why this is very highly rated. This filter here is a filter in its own game. It should not be compared to any other regular filter. It's got a different type of technology. But Purolator, that makes Ford's filters, there would be no filter on the market better than this filter right here if they would take Ford's bypass valve and stick it right on the top. I wish they would design their personal brand filters
The same method.
the same method as
Same
they do the
methodology,
filter.
right.
They would never make a better filter than this right here. This hands down is the best filter I've had in my hand so far. Purolator Boss. The steel case, this type of nanotechnology, fusion technology and stuff that they have is just, it's unreal. The resin that they use in the bottom to hold everything together, I can take a pair of pliers and it's very hard for me to even break it. So if I was to get just a standard filter to go on a vehicle that I actually gave a shit about, it would be the Purolator Boss. So far, by far, the best one I've opened up.
Wow, wow, wow.
I'll be blessed.